Hey everybody! As you guys know, the whole point of the point is to not only share our points, but also to hear from you so you can share your points. And a lot of you do have great comments, great personal stories that you have shared in the comment sections of our videos. And I wanted to read some of my favorites to you guys and respond to them. So the first one actually comes from Cecil Tack, and it was regarding the Hulk Hogan story that we covered from the WWE history for using the N-word. As you guys know, he did get caught using that word while he was having sex with someone in a sex tape. Now, here's what Cecil had to say. He said, one celebrity meltdown that broke my man heart was Tiger Woods admitting that he had affairs with many women. I have to say that in the world we live in, we are so obsessed with celebrities so much that we think of them as perfect and want to be like them. When a celebrity scandal happens, it shows they are human and have their flaws. So I agree with you on that. The whole Tiger Woods story was really shocking, and I remember covering it on the Young Turks, every single detail of it. And the most shocking part was that he didn't have an affair with one person. He had multiple affairs, and he did it when his wife seemed perfect. You know, she's a model, she seemed like a good mom, they seemed happy. And I think that it highlighted a common problem that people have in relationships, and that's the issue of monogamy. A lot of people do have their flaws. Unfortunately, a lot of people do cheat. In fact, around 50% of, I'm sorry, not 50%, but the majority of marriages end because of infidelity. And so this shouldn't have been as surprising as it was, I suppose, especially since he's a professional athlete that has women throwing themselves at him on a regular basis. But I do agree that it was a little heartbreaking, and I hate watching couples devolve like that in a very public way. All right, the next comment came from Edward Black, and it was regarding the first transgender modeling agency that opened in America. Now, the question was, what would you want to do for your career other than what you're doing now? And here's what Edward had to say. A writer, or something that brings about substantial change. Would or could that be politics? No. Working within a crass and corrupt system won't change anything. Change comes from below and not from above. So real change needs to take place from ordinary people. Howard Zinn often spoke about this. Yes, Howard Zinn definitely did speak a lot about this. And when you're part of government, it's very, very difficult to be as principled as some politicians have been able to do or be. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, those are politicians that somehow have not been corrupted by the money in politics. However, real change will come about from the people who actually hold politicians accountable. That's why we're trying to get money out of politics through our political action committee here at the Young Turks, referred to as Wolf Pack. So if you want to join in on that, it's wolf-pack.com. So the next comment came from Rachel Leah Kaplan, and it was regarding the Target story involving the gender-neutral signs and toys. And the question was, what's a gender-specific activity you were told to do when you were growing up? I can't wait to read this to you guys. Rachel said, when I was 6 years old, my parents and I were walking around Costco, and I saw the most beautiful, amazing Superman costume I'd ever seen. I didn't think, hey, I want this because I'm transgender or gay or whatever. I was 6. I didn't know what that meant. I literally wanted this costume because it had awesome, huge, bulging muscles, and I wanted to look muscular. I remember my mom telling me it was for boys, and I said, so what? My parents ended up getting it for me, and I added it to my rotation of dress up with my dozen Disney princess costumes. And now I'm straight, super girly, and incredibly confused that random people think that letting a little girl play with Hot Wheels, which were my shit, is going to turn them gay. Basically, to all the haters, chill out, honestly. There's really nothing else I could add to that awesome comment. I completely agree 100%, and I'm so happy to hear that your parents were open-minded enough to get you that costume. It's a heartwarming story, to say the least. All right, the next comment came from Juliet Harless, and it was regarding the designer who was dissing voluptuous women. The question was, is there an item you won't buy because the media made you feel like it won't look good on you? Here's what Juliet had to say. The first thing that came to mind for me were high heels. I'm a 5'11" female, which means that even in ugly ass sneakers, people, especially men, are constantly commenting on my height. On the few occasions in my life that I have actually worn high heels to an event, I've been met with these infuriating up and down stares, like I've completely stepped out of line by enhancing that particular feature. I've even gotten comments like, how are you going to find a man taller than you looking like that? As if the most demeaning thing I could do to a potential partner is have the audacity to exist in the body that I just happen to have naturally. It sickens me to know that people in 2015 actually find this type of sexist and demeaning body shaming acceptable. It's just another example of society doing everything it can to make sure that we feel shitty about something we can't control. It's amazing to me that something, a physical feature that could be so desired in one community can be degraded in another community. And what I mean by that is, if you're a 5'11" woman, I mean, the beauty industry, the fashion industry, the modeling industry is obsessed with your height. It's a good thing and it should be embraced. But then when it comes to others, all of a sudden you're strange because you're tall. Rock it. Rock the heels. Be proud of your height. It's a beautiful thing. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And I couldn't agree with your point more. All right, final comment comes from Joel Wend. And I love this comment. It was basically the question, what would you do if porn was banned? Okay, and here's what Joel had to say. I agree with the desire to ban revenge porn. Anyone who posts that stuff is an asshole, so yes, let's work on a way to stop it. At the same time, though, let's work on changing society's attitudes toward nudity and sexual exploration so that if someone does get their photo posted online by an asshole, it doesn't ruin their lives. We give these creeps the power they have when posting these pictures by reacting in a sensationalistic manner. Let's remove the power by removing the stigma surrounding our bodies. We all have the same jiggly bits underneath after all. I love that comment because it's so true. Revenge porn is hideous, it is terrible, it should be banned, right? It's difficult to enforce a ban like that, but we should try. However, at the same time, human bodies are human bodies. All of us have sex, all of us experience similar things. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and I would love to live in a society of exhibitionists that just don't care, that just completely embrace their bodies, whether it's nude or not, and people don't freak out about it. It would definitely be a good thing. All right, guys, well, those are my favorite comments from our videos. As you know, we do go through the comment section because we want to hear from you, we want to engage with you, and we want to know what your points are. So never be afraid to comment, never be afraid to tell us what you think, and never be afraid to make your point.